welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something loads of people grapple with, getting good at English.
That's right.
We've looked at some really practical advice, actually, from a YouTube channel that tries to make learning English, well, fun and effective.
Yeah, it's all about getting straight to what actually works. We're pulling out the key stuff from someone who's, been there, done that. Strategies you can use straight away, really, no matter what your current level is.
Okay, let's get into it then. So our source talks about these foundational four: listening, speaking, reading, writing.
Core skills.
Exactly. But they also go into other important bits like, building vocabulary and maybe the biggest one, confidence.
Ah, yes. Confidence is huge.
Let's start with listening. The main idea seems to be just listen every day, immerse yourself.
Right. Stories, songs, news, whatever works for you.
The idea is you just sort of absorb the words, the sounds, the rhythm naturally.
Yeah, it's like training your ear, isn't it? The more you hear English, the more your brain just gets used to how it sounds, the patterns, the intonation. It almost happens subconsciously if you do it consistently.
Makes sense. And listening naturally leads into, well, speaking.
Of course.
And the advice here is pretty blunt. Practice daily. And crucially, don't worry about mistakes.
Absolutely key. Mistakes are part of it. Our source actually says they're essential.
Yeah, like stepping stones. They even suggest talking to yourself.
Which sounds odd maybe, but it's brilliant.
Right. A low-pressure way to practice.
Totally. No judgment. Just you trying out words and sentences. It builds that familiarity before you, talk to others.
They also mention finding language partners online or in person.
Real interaction.
And really listening to how native speakers sound to pick up that natural pronunciation.
Yeah.
Oh, and starting slow, simple sentences first. And that shadowing technique.
Shadowing. Yeah, that's where you listen and repeat immediately.
Seems intense.
It is, but it's incredibly effective. You're mimicking everything's sound, rhythm, intonation. It connects your listening brain to your speaking mouth, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah. It's training the physical act of speaking.
Exactly. Not just words, but the music of the language.
Okay, moving to reading. The advice. Start simple.
Yep. Children's books, stuff with pictures, makes it less daunting.
And they talk about rereading things.
Oh, that's a great tip. You pick up so much more the second or third time, vocabulary really starts to stick.
I like this bit too. Read for the gist first, then go back for unknown words.
Very smart. Otherwise, you get stuck on every second word, and it just kills your motivation.
Right.
Get the main idea, build some context, then zoom in on the new words. Much easier to learn them that way.
And reading aloud is another one they push.
Good for pronunciation practice, and it helps with memory too.
Then, as you get better, branch out. News, websites.
Whatever you're interested in. That variety is crucial. Different styles, different vocabulary. It broadens your horizons.
Keeps it interesting too.
Definitely. If you enjoy it, you'll stick with it.
All right, let's talk writing. Again, the key seems to be consistency. Write every day, even just a little bit.
Yeah, like a diary entry about your day. Simple stuff.
And write about things you actually like.
Motivation again. Start simple, clear sentences. Build up complexity later.
But they do stress getting the basics right from the start. Spelling, capitals, punctuation.
Yeah, those fundamentals matter. They make your writing clear, easy to understand. Professional if you need it for work.
They suggest keeping a specific notebook for writing practice.
Good idea. Track your progress.
And planning before you write. Like jotting down ideas first.
Helps organize your thoughts. They even mention trying creative writing, maybe short stories.
And importantly, getting feedback.
Ah, yes. Someone else's eyes on your work. It's invaluable, really. They spot things you just don't see yourself. Clarity, grammar, natural phrasing.
Makes sense. Okay, vocabulary building. The advice is quite direct here. Learn a few words daily.
And use them in sentences. That's the crucial part.
Flashcards get a mention.
Classic tool. Still useful for some. But also learning words from context, while reading or listening.
Right, seeing how they're actually used.
Exactly. Much more effective than just memorizing lists. You see the meaning, the nuances.
They also suggest grouping words by topic.
Helps make connections in your brain.
And actively using the new words when you speak or write. Plus, apps and games can help.
Yeah, make it fun. And regular review, of course. You got to keep revisiting those words.
Oh, and synonyms and antonyms.
Expands your toolkit, gives you more precision.
Okay, so those are the core skills. But, as we said, the source really emphasizes confidence.
Which is often the missing piece, isn't it?
It really can be. The main message. Don't fear mistakes.
Seriously, they're not failures. Their feedback,
Yeah.
learning opportunities. Getting that mindset right is half the battle.
That fear can be so paralyzing.
Totally.
They also advise speaking slowly and clearly. Focus on being understood, not being fast.
Excellent advice, especially early on. Clarity builds confidence.
And learning common, everyday phrases.
Gives you those building blocks for basic chats. Makes you feel more capable in real situations.
Some other confidence tips. Practice explaining words you don't know using simpler terms.
Good skill to have anyway.
Seek out different situations to practice. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, maybe.
Sort of, yeah. Push your boundaries a bit. And positive self-talk.
Right. Believe you can do it, even when it feels frustrating.
Because we'll get frustrating sometimes. Resilience is key.
Setting small, achievable goals, too. Keeps you focused, motivated.
The little wins add up.
Okay, so once you've got those foundations, how about refining things? For speaking fluency.
The next level.
The advice is to try thinking directly in English.
Yes. Stop translating in your head. It speeds things up, makes you sound more natural.
That feels like a big leap.
It is, but it's a sign you're really starting to internalize the language. Thinking in English means processing directly in English.
Joining speaking groups or clubs is suggested.
More practice opportunities. Start small, maybe short chats, then build up.
Recording yourself speaking.
A bit cringy maybe, but so useful. You hear things you don't notice otherwise. Intonation, pronunciation issues.
Intonation, yeah, they mentioned focusing on that too. The rise and fall of your voice.
Hugely important in English for meaning and emotion. Often overlooked, but it makes a massive difference to sounding natural.
Okay, listening comprehension then. How to get better at understanding.
First step. Focus on the main idea. Don't stress about catching every single word, especially at first.
Right, get the gist.
Then maybe listen again, trying to catch more detail. Listen multiple times.
Using subtitles is okay.
Yeah, as a tool initially. But the goal is to eventually understand without them, wean yourself off.
Guessing word meanings from context is encouraged again.
Definitely. Use the words around it as clues.
And starting with slower English, then moving to normal speed.
Makes sense. Build up gradually. And listen to different accents.
Oh, good point. English isn't just one accent, is it?
Not at all. Exposure to variety prepares you for the real world, global communication and all that.
Right. And finally, reading comprehension boosters.
Similar ideas, really. Focus on the main idea. Practice summarizing what you read in your own words.
Tests your understanding.
Exactly. Guessing words from context before grabbing the dictionary.
That discipline again?
Reading aloud helps here too.
Yeah.
Discussing what you read with others.
Makes it more active.
Setting reading goals.
Yeah.
Using audiobooks alongside the text, perhaps.
Oh, that's interesting. Hear it and see it.
And again, finding enjoyable stuff. Comics, short stories. Make it fun.
Okay, so let's try and boil this down for everyone listening. Key takeaways.
Well, the big one seems to be that it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
Right? Language learning takes time.
Patience and consistency are vital.
Absolutely. No magic wand. It's those small, daily actions, a bit of listening, speaking, reading, writing, learning vocab. They all add up.
And please don't fear mistakes.
See them as learning chances, growth opportunities.
Find ways to engage that you actually enjoy. Stories, music, videos, whatever works for you.
Yeah, enjoyment keeps you going. If it feels like a chore, you're less likely to stick with it.
Use the new words you learn. Actively try to slip them into conversations or your writing.
Makes them stick. Solidifies the learning.
And remember, confidence comes from practice. So, push yourself a little. Seek out chances to speak, even if it feels awkward at first.
Every conversation, even a short one, builds that muscle, builds that confidence.
So to wrap up the main principles, it's all connected, isn't it? Listening, speaking, reading, writing, vocab. They all feed each other.
Mm-hmm. And underpinning it all is consistent practice and a positive attitude, believing you can do it.
Yeah, that mindset is key. Remember, every little step forward counts.
Don't dismiss the small wins. They really do compound over time.
So here's something to think about as we finish up. Looking at all these strategies we've just talked through, which one, or maybe two, could you realistically start doing today?
Yeah, what's one small thing?
What tiny, consistent action could you commit to right now to push your English learning forward?